Stitching Niche. I'm back for an update video. Today is Monday, February 26th. February has been crazy. I think it feels to me like it was longer than January because we have been sick. So I got food poisoning and then we had COVID and I've been doing teaching observations and it's just been a crazy month. But I have lots of good things to share with you. So update. Market is this weekend. I'm leaving on Thursday. We are actually going to drive across the country. My husband, Hobby, and I are going to drive to Nashville or Franklin and then do market. So I'm super excited about that. What else did I want to update you all on? It's been a crazy beginning of the year, but it's been very productive. So I've got lots of fun things to share. Okay, if I didn't mention this in the last clip, it is 6:30 at night, so my lighting is horrible, but I'm recording. I'm finally getting some time to record. So I first want to show you some of my FFOs, but what I want to explain. So this year, I am trying my best to be focused and to fully finish things. So as I finish a cross-stitch project, I want to FFO it within, a reasonable amount of time, not 14 years, which I've got some things that I've had in a box for at least that long. Anyway, so first thing I want to show you is I think I showed this in my last video that I stitched the temperature butterflies last year. So I finished it on January 1st, but I got it framed. Isn't that pretty? So I ordered this frame through the custom frames online. But I think it looks like, I'm thinking of putting like black head pins in here where it looks like they're pinned to a board. But I just think that's so pretty. So that's my temperature butterflies. This is a chart you can get on Etsy from Stitching Mommy. And I love it. If you watch Sunshine Stitchers, EJ stitched this, but she stitched it in like a clock face. I thought that was beautiful too. But I like mine. I think it's so pretty. It hangs over there. One of the things I've done, and you may notice some changes, I don't know. I have all these things hung on the wall. Originally, I used those command strips, which worked great at my last house. But we have textured walls here, so apparently they're not good on textured walls. And I would be talking or working in here, and I just hear clunk, and one of them would fall. So I took all of the ones down and put hangers on them, and they're all hanging now with wire hangers or sawtooth hangers, which causes them not to, you know how they'll shift sometimes. So if they're not perfectly aligned, I'm sorry. I tried. So, all right, so that was one FFO. Another FFO I'm excited to share. So I finished my snow piece. So every time it snows, I stitch on a particular project. And I started this after Julie from Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World talked about it. So when we moved to Colorado, I'm like, oh, I can do a snow piece and actually finish it, because in Mississippi it may take a decade. But I picked a Santa from the Leisure Arts Christmas Remembered book. And so I finished it in January of this year. And I went ahead and ordered a frame, and it is done. This is out of the first in the Christmas Remembered series. It is Evergreen, Evergiving, or Evergiving, Evergreen. I think it's Evergreen, Evergiving. It's stitched on 32 count. It's just a random linen that I had using the DMCs. So, isn't he handsome? So, that is my first snow project completed. I also I'm doing a Brenda Gervais start at the beginning of each month, and in January I did the Holiday Hoopla Christmas, which took me all of one day, and I finished it in the hoop. So isn't that cute? And just backed it with some scrapbook paper. So that is another FFO. And then my final one, I showed this in my last video and talked about these Just Nan, the sewing rolls. So I finished the winter sewing roll. So that is and it comes with wool. So this is a scissor roll. So you're supposed to, there's a little pocket that you make that your scissors sit in. So it rolls up and snaps closed. So cute. And it comes also with the chart for one of the little mice that sits on top. So there's the little mouse. So cute. So I finished and fully finished that. So those are my FFOs. I do have one other big FFO, but I can't show you, but I can insert a picture here. And this is the Bee Vintage quilt from Lori Holt. I started this back in the fall and then didn't keep up. But then the beginning of this year, I made myself a schedule so that I would finish a certain number of blocks each week, and actually stayed pretty much on schedule and have finished this quilt top. So I'm waiting for my quilter to let me know, because I took another quilt in January, and see if it's ready. And now that's got me convinced that I can do a quilt a month. I know. But I have one that's a bunny quilt. I'll show you when I show you my whips. That I'm hoping that I can get finished in March, because I've got it about a little more than halfway done. So, all right, so that's my FFOs. Okay, so now I'm going to share my finished objects, the ones that I finished stitching but I haven't framed or whatever. And I actually have 4 that I have finished, but I only have 3 of them that I can find. I don't know where the other one is. So the first one is an old whip, old project. I started this in 2016 with Teresa Vanette during Mania, and it is Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Sampling. It's stitched on 36 count sheep straw from R&R. And I did my own silk conversion. I just pulled the DMCs that were suggested on the chart and matched it to different silks that I had in my stash. So, yes, it's much smaller than everyone else's Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow, because I've been working on this since 2018, and most of those years I was only working on this one block, and I decided that I didn't want to stitch all the blocks, but I did want these, and I think I think that's a good combination. So, very cute. And this was one of my 25/7 projects. So you've probably heard of this. Is it Melanie that does the 25/7? Anyway, you pick a project and you stitch on it at least 25 minutes a day for every day of the week. So I love that. I literally set my little alarm and stitched for 25 minutes until I got this thing done. So that's my first finish to share with you. My second is the Fabulous Houses from Cottage Garden Sampling. I did Santa's House. The light's not that great. But this is stitched on, oh, what is the name of this? Where's my chart? Oh, it's right there. Hold on a second. This is one of the things I love about the charts, these charts, is that she has a little place for you to write your information. So I started this on December 15th. I'm stitching it on a piece of 32 count Olympus from Under the Sea Fabrics. So 32 count. I used DMC, except for on the red, instead of Ladybug, I used a Victorian motto. And then same thing for the gray. But the light's kind of, that's better right there. But it is so pretty. And when I finished the Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow, this became my 25/7 project. No. That's not what, I didn't work on this. I worked on this for 7 days straight in January and in February. And then my third finish is a 25/7 project. It is in my So Much to Love bag. If you watch my videos, I'm obsessed with these again. This is in the Brenda Gervais Seasons of the Heart. and I was stitching on the summer piece. So I started this back in June of 2023, and I used this as a 25/7 project. So I finished it. It's on 36 count. I think this is a linen that I got from Victoria and Motto as well. And I couldn't decide if I wanted to leave that or complete it. I decided to go ahead and just finish it the way Brenda says you're supposed to finish it. So that is my third finish since my last video. So I'm super excited about that. All right, so now I'm going to show you my whips. And the way I'm working on my whips this year is I pick a focus project and work on it for 7 straight days. I adapted this from Sarah Stitchy's spot. She's talked about this before. And I've decided I like that. In 7 days, I can do 7 days and then put it away. And then the next month, pull it out and stitch on it for another 7 days. And so I have 4 projects that I'm working on that I've stitched on for 7 days. In January, that included, in February, that included Santa's house. And I finished it. So I've actually got, let me show you. I love to organize and to have plans. So I actually have a list of what my weekly focuses are. And I had already decided what my next one was going to be to pull up into that. So I will show that to you soon. Okay. So my first one is my oldest whip. It is now a 10-year-old whip because I started this in 2014, in February of 2014. Those of you who've been watching this, you've seen this a million times. It's my Splendor of Florals. It is from Just Cross Stitch magazine, I think 2010 or something. And I have stitched, let's see, these two, the Morning Glories, the Poinsettia, and I'm working on the chrysanthemums. So I stitched on it for 7 days in January, which I think I showed on my last video, and I worked on it for 7 days in February. And I finished quite a bit. There we go. So I finished the border on the top and bottom. I think this one was already done. So I just need to do the side border, and I need to finish this flower and a leaf here and then do all the back stitching. This is stitched on 32 count antique, I think it's antique white, using the called for DMC. Except for the border is a water lilies. So, but it's really pretty. So it'll come up again in March. And then after I finish chrysanthemum, I'll move up to August, which is, I don't remember. Let's see. Poppies. So I'll go and work on this one. Which is not, look at how much fabric you can see around those flowers versus this monster. Ugh. All right, so that was my first whip in February. Oops, sorry, this is making too much noise. The second one that I worked on was the Santa's house, which I showed you. And then the third one is probably the most challenging thing I've ever stitched in my entire life, though it is gorgeous. This is from Shakespeare's Peddler. And I've already told Teresa, I said it's the most challenging. It is painted flowers. And she talks about this in the chart, that this is from a lacquered, I think it's a lacquered, black lacquer, like trinket box that she saw that had this painted on it. So she really wanted it to look like it was painted. And it's so pretty. And it's got to be on black because it's on that black lacquer. So I'm like, okay, I picked out a piece of 40 count. This is a Lakeside linen, so I can't remember the name of it. Oh, Black Forest, that's it. And I'm using the DMC because that's what she calls for. And that is my progress. Isn't it so pretty? Look at that. But oh my goodness, it has been challenging because to me, I'm over 50, so the chart's small. I have problems seeing it. And what I did is I'm doing what everybody else is doing. I got my iPad. I took a picture and I can blow that thing up and I can highlight it as I go. And that has made such a difference. In January, it took me the full 7 days to get through all of this. In February, using the iPad, I was able to finish all of this flower and work on this third one. And I'm going to finish it. Teresa has it finished as a pillow, and I'm going to finish it as a pillow. But this is Painted Flowers by Shakespeare's Peddler. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, and then my third whip is, well, that was my third whip, excuse me. My fourth whip this month is a Jeanette Douglas piece. It is the piece that the Sampler Guild of the Rockies did a workshop last year, and Jeanette Douglas was the designer, and it's Tapestry of Stitches. So in January, I was working on this top border, and then I'm currently on the third day of working on this kind of middle section. So, and because it's a lot of satin stitch, I'll show you. Hold on. See the bottom? You have this band. You've got satin stitches. This is a bunch of rays, which is hard to see. But then you've got all this Bargello work. I was talking to Jeanette at the workshop, and I stitch in hand. And I'm like, do you think I should do some type of like Q-snap? And she's like, probably so, since it's going to be, you want to get those straight stitches pretty straight. And so here is where I'm working right now. So I finished the top, and then I brought down the borders on either side. That took me 1 day, so I'm on my 4th day on this round. I did the satin stitches, and I'm about 3/4 of the way with this top row of ray stitches. So I'll work on this to the end of February. And it's fun. I don't like holding this thing, but I'm not getting my frame out. I'm at my stand out. Because we're leaving on the 29th to go to Nashville, and I will be taking this with me. So, all right, so those are my regular weekly stitches. My other whip that I worked on this month is we had several snow days. So I have a new snow project. It is out of the Christmas Remembered book, the first one, Santa Remembered. And this one is called Christmas Rider. So let me find his picture. There he is. I think I showed this in my last video. And I've had 3 days that I could stitch on him. Of course, one of those days I was sick, so I didn't get as much done as I would like. But I stitched. And that's my progress. It's on a piece of 32 count linen. I'm not sure what the name of it is. I think it's a Lakeside that I picked up. But this is just the donkey's neck and then chest area, and that's his Santa's little foot. So I don't know. I mean, it's warm here, so we're supposed to get snow maybe tomorrow night and then maybe this weekend. But I don't know. All right, so that's all of my stitching whips. My quilt whip, I'll show you that. Let me pause for a minute. All right, so I have 2 quilt whips to show you. The first one is the one I'm hoping to finish in March. And this is a block of the month. It is Bunny Hill Designs, The Flower Farm. I signed up for this through Scrappy Fabrics. Is that right? No, Shabby Fabrics. And there are 12 different kits that we were sent where all of the applique pieces are laser cut. And I have done 7 of those. So I will show you. These are so cute. So adorable. If you're not a quilter, I'm sorry. You're going to love it anyway. So I'll kind of work backwards maybe. So here's one. Isn't that adorable? Look at that mouse holding a flower. So some of them are squares, some of them are rectangles. Here's another Here's one of the longer pieces. So I have to sew together the background, and then I just iron on the little images, and then I actually am machine appliquing around each of those. And then some of the blocks require a little bit of applique, like the snail, you see the shell and his antennae. So that is another block. And here's a bunny. Look at that, with a snail on his back. And bird with a tulip. That was actually the very first block. And the last one that I finished is this. So I have 7. I need to do 5 more. And then the piecing together is much easier. There's strips between the rows, and then there's one thin border and one outer border. So I think I do have spring break, so I think I can get this done in March. That's my goal. The other whip, let me see. Oh, I even got the backing fabric. My other whip is an old quilt whip that I have been working on. Hold on one second. I keep my quilts in these scrapbook boxes. I used to be a scrapbooker, but I didn't want to get rid of the boxes, so I put them in here, and it works out great. And they stack, and everything is organized. But my other quilt whip is the Vintage Christmas. I'm looking around for the book. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry. So my other quilt whip is my oldest quilt whip, I guess, which is the Vintage Christmas by Lori Holt. I signed up for the block of the month through Stitching Heaven in Texas for this one. And they would send you 6 blocks per month. And then you have like the material. See how each block has sashing and then the cornerstones? That's a month. And then this really nice border is the other month. So I have the goal to keep up with this is to do all 6 blocks per month. I am behind by 2 blocks. And if I have time on Wednesday, I'm going to try to get the last 2 done before I leave for market. But here's some of them that I've completed. So that's the reindeer. I need to put eyes on him. Then a jingle bell. These are 6.5 inch blocks. So some of these pieces are tiny. I was cutting for one of them yesterday, and the blocks were like 3/4 of an inch. But Lori Holt's books are amazing. Hers are my absolute favorite. So that's why I do so many of hers, because her instructions are perfect. These are just like glitter and glimmer. Look at that. City Sidewalks, I think is the name of that one. So it's a sampler quilt, which if you watch my videos, I've done quite a few of these. My favorite part of this is cutting out all the little tiny pieces. I don't mind sewing things together, but it's candy, and here's some candy canes. Now we're getting to my old. I think this is the first block I did, Away in the Manger, and I did that one when we were living in Mississippi, so that's how long we're talking that I have been working on this. But my goal is, if I stay on track, I will finish this quilt block or quilt top in August. And then this little house. So, and what I do is here, let me show you. They send you a pack with the 6 blocks in each of the fabrics, and they're very, very generous with their fabric. So I have another bag with all of my scraps, and I actually cut from that before I use these. And I will probably have enough fabric left over that somebody could do, not a whole quilt, but a partial quilt. I keep trying to convince my younger sister Bridget that she can do this. So we'll see. But that's my quilt whips. After that, I'm going to start a new one that I've cut everything out, but it's a coriander quilts. using her sun washed. I just love it. It's a fat quarter shop. When I start it, I'll show you that. So that's my sewing quilting whips. All right, so last thing I want to talk about is just talk about giveaways and just a little bit of shop update. So I forgot to draw the people for the last video's drawings. I'll do that for this next video. Okay, so I'll announce the drawing winners from 83 and 84 on video 85. And this time, and I talked about this prior, I think like my video 82, I have a box full of finished projects, and you can see that I am running out of wall space. I have a little bit of wall space over here, but I don't have a lot of wall space to hang much more. And so I'm really looking at a lot of things, and I love the process of stitching, and I love these projects, but if they're just going to sit in a box, they're not serving anybody very much. So I've decided that I'm going through mine and picking out things that I'm going to share. So the drawing this time is for 2 Halloween sampler type pieces that I've finished in the past. And if you're interested, don't say anything about giveaway, drawing, or anything like that, but just put Halloween in your comment, and I will choose 2 different people to win these. And it'll be random. Okay, so the first one, both of these are from Teresa, Shakespeare's Peddler. So this is one of her older charts. I think it's like the Hallows Eve or, oh, what is that? What is it? Ichabod Crane in something Valley. I don't remember. Anyway, this is one of her older charts. I don't think it's available anymore. I stitched it, I think, like in 2015, 2016. But it's really cute. Look at the detail Teresa can get on that Headless Horseman. I was right there on the tip of my tongue what the name of this is. And Sleepy Hollow. There it is. Thank you. Sleepy Hollow. Okay. So I guess I could do it this way. If you're interested in this one, then put Sleepy Hollow. And then the other one is another one of Teresa's, which I love. But like I said, I don't have a lot of space. This is Boo Scurry Yum. No, it's not. This is Halloween. Yeah, this is Halloween. Okay. And she may have this one available on her website. So pretty. This is on a piece of, it's on a piece of 32 count linen. It's a silk weaver. And if you're interested in this one, just say Halloween. So that's how we're due. So Sleepy Hollow. Jennifer's got to get it together. Sleepy Hollow and Halloween. Okay. So I will draw for those and the charts that I was giving away at the last one for my next video. Last thing is just a quick shop update. So I'm going to market. I have pre-ordered from a lot of different vendors, but I know some people have been emailing me today. Is there any way I can place a pre-order? Yeah, just go ahead and send me what you're interested in, and if I can get it, I'll get it for you. So a lot of vendors allow for pre-orders, but that does not mean you can't order anymore. I've listened to a couple of Flosstubers. They're like, yeah, if you don't get your pre-order in, then they're not going to get it. That isn't the way it always works. A lot of times vendors bring more than what the pre-orders are. It's just that those are already packed and they're easy to get rid of, and then they bring more. So I can try to get them. So there are some vendors that will not sell to you if you're not a brick and mortar shop, and then there's some that won't sell to you if you're on Etsy. So those, I think there's like maybe 3 vendors that do that. So most of everything I can get. I've been cleaning up a lot in my shop. I'm super excited. Everything is fitting into nice little compartments. I've got everything organized. It's looking good. Makes me super happy. One thing I did do last weekend, or like Friday, I went through and anything that, not everything, but a lot of the charts where I only have one left, I put it in a tab called Only One Left. And then I am marking those down to 25% off. So I'm marking them down 25% off until the end of the month, until February 29th. So most of them I probably will not reorder. There are some that I will reorder, but if you want to look through those, that's on my Etsy shop. And then I will have a tab that will probably pop up Friday night with the Nashville Needlework stuff. So I won't have that available until I actually have some things in my hand. I know Stacy Nash is not going to distribute pre-orders until Saturday, so I will not put her stuff up until then. But once I have it in my hands, then I can post it on my website. I don't want to upset anyone by allowing them to order and then not being able to fill that order. So that's it. It should be fun. Hobby, like I said, Hobby and I are driving over. I love road trips, so that's not going to be a problem. He has been asking exactly what he's going to be doing. I'm like, you're going to be holding all the bags. So probably he'll help me the first part of Saturday, and then he'll go off and do whatever he wants, and then I'll finish up. Looks like it's going to be a fun market. Lots of new vendors, lots of, the regulars. So, other thing is I reordered a whole bunch of stuff today from Hoffman. I placed an order with Brenda Gervais. I placed an order with Yarn Tree. I even placed another order with Picture This Plus. So I got a Picture This Plus order in early December, and that stuff sold so fast. But I think they're getting their lead time is better than it was, after the pandemic. So, all right, I think that's everything. Oh, my plans. It's going to be crazy, but right now I'm working on the tapestry of stitches from Jeanette Douglas, and then I'm going to work on the painted flowers next, and then I'm going to work on, no, how did I have that set up? Then I'm going to work on the Splendor Florals, because I have another trip after market, and I don't want to try to take these things that are in Q Snaps, well, that big thing with me. So I'm going to take painted flowers with me when I go on that trip. And then the new one that's going to come up is the September monthly weigh-in from Stitching with Housewives. So, all right. Well, sorry, this is kind of crazy. Like I said, trying to find a time to record has been a little frustrating. So just wanted to finally get back in and talk to you and update you on what I'm doing. I'm getting a lot done. I'm super excited. So I hope you have a nice end of February and beginning of March, and I will see you soon. Bye.